Hi everyone, I'm Kristen and today I'm going to share with you my top 5 tips as an autism mom before you head out on your Disney vacation in the planning phase. Tip number 1 is going to be about picking your dates. Disneyland is always going to be busy, there's always going to be a lot of crowds and a lot of noises, but there are some things you can do to lessen the impact that has on your family. So you're going to want to try to avoid major holidays, 3-day weekends, and the beginning of any time Disneyland rolls out a new theme for the season. That's when you're going to have the highest crowds, the most people, and they're going to be excited to see all the new things. So things I would consider is going when school is in session, when there is kind of a lag between theming. I like the end of January personally. There's Christmas season is done and they haven't yet started any of the spring stuff. So it's a little bit less. Tip number 2 is apply for DAS. If you have a family member with autism or a similar disability, you can go through the process online and have a video chat to apply for the Disability Access Service. It can be really helpful for your family. They have made changes in the last few years that have made it a little bit harder to get, but as long as you're prepared for the phone call and you answer authentically and honestly, and it would really benefit your family, then there's usually not a problem. There's also other services that they can provide. They have rider swap, and you can meet somebody in the line, and there's lots of suggestions they'll make with you. Tip number 3 is going to be to prepare a mobile sensory space. So what we do with my son is we use a stroller, and he's almost too big for it, but we can still kind of manage that. With our stroller, we get a portable fan. We have a blanket that we can put over the top. He's got headphones and we allow screen time in there. And when things get a little bit busier, walking between lands and in those crowded walkways, we will cover him up in there and make sure that that sensory input is minimized for him. And it helps him have a better day, and it helps him last longer in the day too. Tip number 4 is to learn the app really well. You're going to want to kind of get a good layout of the parks and know where the food's going to be, where the drinks are going to be, and where the quieter spaces are going to be. Sometimes you need a break and sometimes you need a break pretty quickly. So if you can find these quieter areas in a short amount of time, that's really helpful. There's several areas you can go to that have almost no one, and you can just take a nice sensory break there. Also, you're going to want to know where your safe foods are. So as an autism mom, we know where the spaghetti is and we know where the chicken nuggets are, and we know how to get there quickly. Another really good option for taking breaks is the areas where you can have a little bit more movement. So the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail and in Toontown, there can be lots of physical movement. There's slides and different sensory things and activities you can do in both of those areas, and that gets a lot of that pent-up energy out really well. We want to pick a hotel that is close enough to walk if necessary. Sometimes getting on and off the bus or waiting for an Uber is just too much, so you're going to want to be able to walk in the morning and in the evening. So 15-20 minutes is usually our max. I like to stay within about 10 minutes. But again, the pool's really important for us. So we like to pick a pool that has some really awesome features, sometimes water slides or an extra splash pad area. That is really important for us to meet the sensory needs of my child. And then taking breaks in the afternoon. We find that if we go to the park from around 8 to 1 or 2 and take a 3 to 4 hour break, we're able to last the rest of the night, and it just works out best for us. Sometimes there's quiet time in the room, but most of the time it's swimming. So those are my top 5 tips for the planning phase of your vacation. I hope this video was helpful for you, and check out the next video to see us how we actually navigate when we're in the parks.